Hey guys, and welcome to a video covering my first impressions and thoughts on the new Kerapac boss. So whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So, Kerapac, the new solo, duo, or trio boss that was added with the Elder Goddess dungeon. For once, this boss is actually as difficult or easy as the J-mod said it would be. It's not extremely hard, although hard mode is definitely hard mode, but normal mode seems to be accessible to entry high level PVMers. In normal mode, Kerapac seems to be about as difficult as Araxor. I got my first kill my first attempt, and the only times I died were in hard mode. I have about 50 kills and 3 hard mode kills as of recording this video, but I will have more very soon. So why do I think this is a good boss? Well, I'll go over that after some financial support for my tea collection. This video has been sponsored by Opera GX. So you've probably heard about the Opera GX browser by now, and it has great features like the CPU and RAM limiter, Twitch and Discord integration, so this time I'm going to show you some other really cool features Opera GX has. Within the browser you can chat and browse at the same time with Facebook Messenger, Telegram, vKontakte and WhatsApp. You can also connect your Twitter and Instagram for easy access to your DMs and social feeds while looking up other stuff on your browser. On top of all of the other customization like sounds and different animations, Opera GX also has animated wallpapers that smoothly run in the background of your browser. You can set up this feature by going to Easy Setup, being this button in the top right corner, clicking Get More Wallpapers, and then selecting Animated and choosing whatever wallpaper you'd like, and then click Add to Opera. Now if you're currently using Chrome with extensions, Opera GX has its own extensions of course, but it also is compatible with Chrome extensions, given that you add the Chrome extensions add-on from the Opera store. And if you have a bunch of bookmarks saved in your current browser, you can quickly import them using the quick import tool Opera GX has available. If this sounds like your cup of tea, be sure to download Opera GX from the link in the description below and let me know what you think down in the comments. So the fight itself is actually pretty casual once you get used to it, especially if you start using Onyx Bolts, which I did try to use for a couple of no food kills. Really enjoyable mechanics. That is after you get the Pontifex Shadow Ring upgrades, which cost 1000 Resonant Anima of Jazz, because after you've done that, by simply having the ring in your inventory, you will no longer get stunned by Kerapac's second mechanic you encounter, when he says, I will put you in your place, because he then proceeds by slamming into you 3 times, and getting stunned by that is incredibly annoying. Now, it's annoying because it isn't the only mechanic that can stun you. That Lightning Cloud mechanic, when he says, I'll tear right through you, can also stun you. The mechanic isn't necessarily hard to counter, you simply anticipate in time or freedom right after getting stunned and move out of the way of those lightning blasts. This is normal mode we're talking about, by the way. In hard mode you want to actually kill those clouds because they deal a lot of magic damage. You can also tick perfect avoid those ground slams that Kerapac does by surging or escaping right after he lowers his wings. The timing is pretty similar to a Talos hold still or uppercut. It really isn't that bad if you miss it, at least in normal mode, and you can also use Devotion Debilitate to reduce damage in between the lunges or charges at you or whatever you want to call it. You can also Soul Split and heal back some health as well, though depending on how hard you're panicking you may not be able to do that. In the second phase you get access to one of the most interesting, if not the most interesting boss mechanic in Runescape, which is Time Warp, and this mechanic single-handedly makes the boss extremely interesting because it opens up different possibilities. Basically what it does, it takes a snapshot of your current life points and adrenaline and position, and about 10 seconds later, given that you haven't phased the boss or something went wrong, or sometimes it just didn't seem to work. I think it was because we phased the boss. I'm not entirely sure. But after those 10 seconds, you get teleported back to that position with the exact same life points and the exact same amount of adrenaline, and you can continue the boss fight that way. You can use this ability or mechanic to your advantage by using abilities that deal damage to you like Onslaught or Tendrils, but you can also use it to increase the amount of time your ultimates are active, which is extremely good for melee because you can extend your berserk. Whoever came up with this, probably Mod Ramon, really cool idea. Like, this mechanic should be in some other bosses in the game. It's really cool. I like it a lot, and it opens up a lot of possibilities that I probably don't know of just yet. I've mainly been using it as extra adrenaline throughout my own personal solo kills. In normal mode you also have this lightning attack, which is really cool looking and kind of hard to avoid. Like, even if you search for it, you pretty much always take a typeless damage hit. I'm not entirely sure how to avoid this. Maybe you can resonance it. It looks cool, and it can definitely add to the difficulty if you are getting attacked. Probably in solo hard mode, this mechanic is really tough to deal with, alongside focusing on everything else. The toughest part about this boss is in hard mode. You have this final phase where you have clones, and if those clones die, you take a bunch of magic hits. And the first time attempting this with 2 of my Dutch friends, well, it kind of didn't work out. It was pretty tough because we were going in blind. We didn't know what to do, but I assume in time, when everything is figured out, this, in a group of 3 high-level players, won't be that much more difficult than the elite dungeons. As a solo player, this is probably like anywhere between 100 to 500% telos and rage. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't really tried it solo because my auras run out, and I'm definitely not going to be attempting this without a reckless aura, maniac aura, or berserk aura. But once I do, I'll figure out how tough it is. I'm sure I'll be able to get a kill. It's definitely not as hard as Rakshon Release. Rakshon Release was really tough. This is challenging for sure, but normal mode, very accessible. So like I said, Kerapac is a boss that is fairly accessible, and for that reason I like it, because it isn't too difficult. And players that want more of a challenge can do hard mode, which does have mode exclusive drops, being those pieces for that tier 95 staff. Normal mode still allows players to get the new ability codex, gold book, and gloves. This is good design because it rewards players that put in more effort, resources, and skill, but it doesn't leave the less skilled players behind, because it's still good money. You can still get those rare drops, and the common drops are nothing to complain about either. As you can see on screen, Jagex actually listened and added soul runes to the drop tables and Hydrix bolt tips, which is really good because these will finally become a little bit cheaper. I do think doing solos is a lot more profitable than trios, because trios aren't necessarily 3 times as fast and every player gets 1 loot haul. While in solos you get 3, and if you're doing duos, the best DPSer gets 2 drops and the other person gets 1 drop pile. You also get these little Elder Trove boxes, which can be a tier 2 version if you're wielding the upgraded Pontifex ring while Kerapac dies, which both offer a random extra common drop. Another thing I really like about this boss is the fact you can join mid-kill. I'm not even kidding, even in hard mode you can join mid-kill, so as long as one person in the group stays alive, you can join and hop back in after banking for extra supplies. I think they did it because you can do it in Gold Rush Dungeon 2 as well. It just feels a little bit off to have the ability to join mid-fight for a boss like this, but I'll be honest, I don't mind. It's nice. Overall, I think this is a really good bossing update with a very good soundtrack, might I add. I'm excited to test the new rewards soon, although I think I might have some issues affording the new staff, especially this early on. I could have and would have streamed my first attempts, but I had some issues with my streaming software, as some of you who were active at the time might have noticed. Also, I've not seen any drops so far from the boss, so don't worry about having missed something live. With that being said, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you think about Kerapac down in the comments below.